Hi, sorry to keep you waiting. Someone changed the password for the account. So let's get started. So today's session. Welcome to our final session. So, we'll, based on your requests in our last session, I thought we'd do some reading tasks. We'll look at diagram label completion activity. That's type 10, I think it is. And then type 11, which is short answer questions. So it's very hands-on, and we'll be using the types of materials that Cambridge provide with for us and that we can adapt for online use. And then in this maybe the second hour, we'll do a review of writing. We'll focus on part one, academic task and describing data. At the end, we'll run you a questionnaire. We'll have a quick discussion. So let's get started. Now, I'll give you this handout. Just give you the material for this. Please just confirm that you've received it. The thumbs up. Oh, you know what? That's a mistake. That one is a mistake. It's academic reading. Okay, so here's your text for the academic reading. Um, oh, yes. Ah. Look at this strange looking diagram. let's do this open class because there's not so many of us. Um, what does it show? What features can you explain from the information given? So the purpose of this activity is to uh, introduce task type, reading task type 10, which is analyzing a diagram, and we'll discuss the skills needed to find the missing information in the reading text. Hmm? So, what is dung? Any idea?
I just look for it and it's like the excrement.
Yeah, it's caca, isn't it? Yeah. Excrement, yeah, that's a bit too informal, wasn't it? Oh, poo. It's a kind of more scientific way of saying poo. Yes. But what can you see? You can see the cow pat on the top, right? What's below it? What are those fingers below the cow pat?
Roots?
Do you think they're roots? You're not far off. I mean, roots do go underground and they have that same sort of shape, don't they? But
Tunnel?
it's not a solid thing. Those, yeah. Did you say tunnels?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, they're tunnels. Yeah. And who makes the tunnels?
Worms?
The
Could
Beatles.
it could be worms, or yes, it could be beetles, couldn't it? Yeah.
Mhm.
The escarabajos, right? Beetles. Yeah. Aye. So, what features can you explain from the information given?
I think, I'm not sure, but it's about how deep the tunnels are according to
Right.
the different type of beetles that there are.
Right. So it could be the depth of the tunnels, right? Produced by these beetles. Yeah, that's right.
But
No.
Andrew, but I have a question.
Yeah.
So what does the box mean there? Like dung beetle types, like French, Spanish, Mediterranean. I mean, what is that? Uh, what is that for?
Well, do you think there's just one type of dung beetle, or there are multiple types of dung beetles? Is there just the French dung beetle? Just the Spanish dung beetle? No, that looks like the six, right? Six types of dung beetle.
So
Who
maybe
knew?
each type of beetle digs a different kind of tunnel.
That's right. That's what it implies, right? Yeah. So some dung beetles dig tunnels that are deeper than others. Yeah. Who knew? So look at the instructions and answer the answer space. The answer space is 6, 7, and 8. What kind of information is required for the answers?
the type of beetle?
Right, yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? It looks like you'll have to label 6, 7, and 8 with the names of the dung beetle types. Yeah, I think you're right. Now, what are the
But I mean, for answering those 6, 7, and 8, we should have more context, because if we only have that one, so how are we supposed to know, like which one belongs to which beetle? I don't know. I think we're missing something.
Wow, what do you think you're missing?
The reading.
The reading text, yes. Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's going to come next, yeah. So what do you think are the key words in the diagram?
Beetle types.
Yeah. Well, that could be one, yes, but also
The centimeters.
centimeters, right? CMS, centimeters. That looks like it could be a key word, right? Yeah. Also, maybe the word tunnel, tunnels. Yeah. Tunnels and centimeters, probably going to be the key words. Now, for this type of task, the words probably only come from one part of the text, but they do not necessarily occur in the order of the passage. Your students should pay particular attention to expressions relating to location and position, as these are likely to be the ones relating to the diagram, along with the key words. Now, let's turn to our worksheet. Oh, I've got the questions here somewhere. Oh, yes. Ah, yes. Let's move to the next one. So the question is the following. In what order would you do the following with the reading text, and why? So, in what order would you do detailed reading first? Would it be skimming and then scanning? Right? What is the order that I'd like you to consider in pairs how to approach the reading text in order to complete the diagram. So I'll put you in pairs for this, and I'll give you the link to this presentation. And you're looking at page 4. So let's have a quick definition of scanning. Right, scanning means reading quickly for specific information, right? Yeah. I don't know, it could be centimeters, right? You might probably be looking for centimeters there. Skimming. Skimming is like reading quickly for gist. general idea. And detailed reading is reading closely. The word level. Okay, I'm going to put you into pairs or trios, and I'd like you to answer question 4 here. So in what order would you do the following with the reading text and why? I'm going to put you into pairs, trios, and you can discuss that very briefly for about 4 minutes, about that. Please join the breakout rooms.
Hi there.
Oops. So, what did you think? Suggested procedure.
It would be skimming, scanning, and then detailed reading.
Uh-huh. Why?
Well, because I don't know. First of all, you need to like read very quick what it's going to be like the article or the like the whole information about the topic very quick. So I think skimming would be like great idea in order for you to get what is going to be the whole text about.
Hmm.
And then if you have to then scanning,
Yeah.
if you are going to look for, I don't know, so for some specific details or parts from the question, and then detailed reading, that you go like further in order for you to look for specific information, I guess.
Right. Well, that makes sense to me. Now, you might be surprised that this is the suggested procedure, says Cambridge. Scan the text for the key words and then skim the part around the keywords to see if it relates to the missing information. For example, with the sample text, tunnel appears in the first paragraph once, but is not related to the missing information. Tunnel appears several times in paragraph 2, and this is the relevant section for the missing information. Detailed reading should only happen when students are sure they have found the relevant section of the text. Okay. Kind of makes sense. So here's our text. So it says, tunnel appears in the first paragraph once, but is not related to the missing information. You can see the word tunnel in there. So the paragraph that's relevant for the missing information is paragraph 2. Yeah, kind of makes sense. Right. Now I'll give you the task on a Google form. I think I've got it on a Google form. Maybe I don't, because we need the questions, don't we? Excuse me a second. All right. Uh-huh. Oh, yes, good. I do have it on a Google form. That will make it easier for you to answer and submit your responses. Okay, so please, how long shall I give you? Shouldn't take long. How about 3 minutes? Because it's only 3 questions. 6, 7, and 8. Please click on the link. You'll get this. And answer the sample task. Starting now. 3 minutes. When you're done, press submit at the bottom. You've got about 15 seconds left, so when you're ready, please submit your answer. Okay, let's check. Please press submit and let's check our answers. Okay, so the answers were indeed South African. Yes, 63% of us got it right. Question 7 was French. Yeah, 100%. 75% correctly identified that it was Spanish. So who digs the biggest tunnels, the deepest tunnels? It's definitely the French, right? They seem to have more experience at digging
Yeah,
deep
French.
tunnels. Yeah, yeah, good. Ah, and of course we can find the answers here in this second paragraph. Where did we get the Spanish one? Ah, yes, the shallowest tunnels belong to the Spanish dung beetles. Maybe it's because the ground's harder. Now, although we're not expected to interpret that data, right? What could you, if you were to do this lesson, preparing students for task 10, what could you do as a follow-up? Maybe some productive skills, right? So you could collect in the reading text so that they don't have the reading text, but leave them with the diagram. And they have to write a summary of the diagram in their own words, which demonstrates that they understand it. So this could be useful practice for academic writing task 1, 2, you see? Also. Now, I'm going to move on. So that was task 10. Diagram label completion. We're now going to practice short answer questions, which may appear anywhere on the academic reading paper. So for this, you need to remind students to read the instructions very carefully. Let me just get this up. Okay, so you're going to need this reading text. There we go. Passing that through to you now. Okay, and you're going to need this handout. Worksheet. Well, let's work with the worksheet. And it's making us like look at the questions in detail. Now, the procedure for answering this type of question is to identify the key words in the question and then scan the text for the corresponding section. As the answers will usually be located in text order, they can move through the passage without too much repetition. They then skim the corresponding section to find the correct answer. Occasionally, the answers will not all be in the text order. So students should be encouraged to skim read around the relevant section of the text if they don't find the answer quickly, and to keep the other questions in mind at all times. If students are new to this task, consider doing the first question on the worksheet together. So let's do the first question on the worksheet together. What are the key words in questions 1 to 3? So I'm going to give you an activity to do in which you underline the key words. Palabras clave. We'll do it on a Google slide. So what do you think are the going to be the key words in question 1?
The first one that said year.
Could I ask Abigail to read question 1 for us, the whole of question 1?
Sure. 1. In which year did the World Health Organization define health in terms of mental, physical, and social well-being?
So which words are going to be underlined? Or what are the key words?
Year.
Yeah, definitely. Probably World Health Organization, right? That would make sense.
Health.
What other words? Health, probably, yes. Think about nouns, adjectives.
Mental, physical, and social well-being.
Yeah. So those are the key words. Okay, so I'm going to give you 2 and 3 to do to underline the keywords using the tool. The tool to use is this underline tool here. Yeah. So Camilo, Laura, and Rosa, you do 7, slide 7. Teachers, Arnold, Malu, and John, 8. Abigail, Lena, and Patricia. You can do slide 9. Am I missing anyone? What about Cesar? Has he got one? Cesar?
And me, Antonia.
Cesar? Maria Antonia?
Yep.
And Grace?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you the link again so you can access it. You can all work together to do that highlighting. Here's the link.
Good afternoon. I'm missing two.
Who's that?
Isabel.
Isabel. Sorry, Isabel. Oh, yeah. You can work on slide 10. There you go.
Thank you.
Andrew, is it possible to have a different link? The one that you just sent is the previous reading.
Oh, is it? Oh, I'm sorry.
Please. Yeah, no
Hold on.
worries.
Hold on. No, it's the right link. I think it's just you've got to scroll down. Yeah. Just go down to the bottom. Oh, wait a minute. Right, it's not accessing, is it? Try this one.
The last one works.
Yeah, the last one.
Are you gonna place us in groups, or we can
No.
just go? No?
Just do it. Just find your slide
Yep.
and underline.
Right.
Okay. But I think I will put you in groups now because I want you to discuss where did you find, which paragraph did you find the answer? Okay. So actually find the answers and I'll give you the Google form so you can put your answers in, actually write your answers in the spaces, right? And be prepared to tell your partner in which paragraph did you find the answer. These three questions, right? Should we just quickly check the underlined words? Okay, the keywords. So paragraph 2, yeah, 3 areas, health and sociological view. That's correct. Which decade were lifestyle risks seen as major contributors to poor health? That's right. Well done, Maria, Tonya, Grace, and Isabel. I think most people got it right. Yeah. So the suggested procedures are the following. Scan the accompanying text, which I haven't given you yet, as quickly as possible to find your keywords for each question. Write down the corresponding paragraph number next to each question. Oh, let me give you that. Need to give you the reading. The reading text. Here it is. Coming to the chat now. And then it says, reread the first question and skim only the corresponding paragraph for it. Write down your answer. Be sure to answer in no more than 3 words. Repeat the same process for the rest of the questions. When you've finished, compare with a partner. So I'm going to put you into breakout rooms. And okay, and Camilo, Lara, and Rocio have correctly identified that the first question, paragraph C, yes, that's where you can find it. Hmm? I'll put you into breakout rooms so you can now discuss. And so, well, as a welcome to Bernardo. I hadn't noticed Bernardo joining us. So finally, Cesar, Maria Antonia, Isabel, Grace, and Bernardo.
Hi, sorry, I got in the meeting a bit late.
So give you 7 minutes to discuss. So you can discuss your answers and also where you found them. Please go to your breakout rooms. So checking the location of these answers. So answer was in paragraph C for the first one. We agreed on that, and it was and for number 2 it's paragraph E and paragraph D. Yes, correct. Now, those are the right locations, but the answers were so. Please submit your answers in the Google form if you haven't done so already.
Oh, we were discussing.
So if you send it, click on the link, send in your answers. Got 3 answers so far. Waiting for, oh, 9 more answers, please. Send in your answers. Dying to see how well you did. Thirty seconds more. In question 2, there should only be 1-word answers, eh? But you need to include three 1-word answers in question 2. Question
I
1, you're
wrote the
looking
3
for.
of them. I wrote the 3 of them.
Yeah, good. That's what you should do. For question 1, it should be a year, and number 3 should be just the name of the decade. Okay, let's check. We've got 10 responses. Yeah, 54% said it was 1946, and that's correct. Yeah, it has to be a year, right? So it has to be 1946. Yeah. And so it's the year of publication, right? In paragraph C there. Three broad areas which relate to people's health according to the socio-ecological view of health. And the answer is yes, social, economic, and environmental. Most of us got that right. Yeah.
I've got a question regarding those ones. If you notice, there were some people that wrote 4 things, for example, social, economical, environmental focus. Isn't it penalized?
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, because it's 3. Yeah. broad areas.
Okay, so it means the and doesn't work as well.
Well, I think you're allowed to use and, but you would not be allowed to have four things. Or and smoking, lack of fitness, and unhealthy eating habits are not considered broad areas. They're too specific. Yeah, notice keyword broad. And most of us, well, 25% said it was the 1970s. Yeah, and in paragraph D, yeah, it does actually mention that. Yeah. Because that was mainly about lifestyle risks. But then there was that, yeah, that was the 70s, the 80s. It was more the sociological view of health emerged in the 1980s. Yeah.
And that corresponded to another answer.
Well, it might be because we don't see that answer, but yeah. The answer there is paragraph D, and it's the 1970s. Any doubts?
So Andrew, just a question. The first one was 1946 or 1940? It's just I got confused with the published or the
The
public.
answer was 1946. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, because look, it mentions the publication. Yeah.
But since it was in the late 1940s, they
Yeah,
were
but it says in what year? Which year? It doesn't say which decade.
yeah, but okay, got it.
Yeah, so this is where you have to read for detail, yeah?
But also 1940 is a year. But well, it's
No, it's not. It's a decade.
okay.
Yeah, but it says 1940s. It doesn't say 1940. That's no 1986 is definitely a year in F, isn't it? So this is where the reading for detail comes in, right? You've kind of got to zoom in on the paragraph. Read closely. Yeah, so those who answered 1970s were correct. Or this one with the apostrophe, that's okay. That's acceptable as well, right? So this one and three there. Okay, I'll give you these activities so that you can maybe use them yourselves. And we'll move on to writing. So a logical follow-up to this type of activity would be to do a sample, maybe do a whole sample reading paper, yeah, with lots of these short response, short answer questions in them. Or part of a reading paper with more short response, short answer questions. Okay, now we're going to move on to academic writing. And we're focusing on graphs. Yes. So the idea here is that we'll be helping students to use a wide range of suitable lexis for describing graphs. Yeah. So I'd like you to, not too much time for this. We can answer these open class. I might nominate people. Laura Victoria, what time of day do you usually watch TV and what do you watch?
I usually watch TV at night, maybe at 7, around 7 o'clock, after I organize all my stuff to the next work day. And I like to watch maybe a movie or maybe some show in a platform, Netflix, maybe something that it's on trend.
Great. Any particular series on Netflix that you watch?
Currently I am watching this Colombian series, La Primera Vez. I'm finishing it. No, nothing particular.
All right, let's ask about radio. How about Bernardo? What type of time of day do you usually listen to the radio and what do you listen to?
Well, I usually listen to the radio when I have nothing to do at work, you know. So there are moments in the day where I don't have a lot of work, where I don't have students. So I usually it's not really listening to the radio, but I usually listen to podcasts on Spotify, which are usually taken from the radio, but you know, I don't really own a radio, so I would use the podcasts on Spotify to listen to it. So I can
What time
listen
of
to it
day would
whenever I
that
want.
be?
I don't have students at around 11 and at around 1.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's usually my moment of just chilling when the students are gone. Yeah,
Great.
that my moment.
Okay, great. Abigail, do you watch TV or listen to the radio more?
I don't usually watch TV. I consider I listen not to the radio neither, but I listen to some music. Yeah, so I listen to music more than watch TV, but I don't really listen to the radio.
Why not?
I don't know.
Not even in your car going to work or anything like that?
Not really. The place where I'm working now, it's a small town, so I can get there by just walking. So yeah, no, not really.
John, do you think most people have similar TV and radio habits to you?
Well, I believe some people have similar habits to me, but it depends on their lifestyle. For instance, people who drive a lot might listen to the radio more, while students watch more TV or online videos, you know.
Great. Okay. Now, let's have a look at this graph. This is a graph that shows how TV and radio audiences change throughout the day in the UK. Now, it's a bit old, but is it similar to your habits? Or is it different? So it seems to indicate that radio listening happens early in the morning, doesn't it? That makes sense for me. Yeah, that's when we often listen to the radio. Not so much at night. Seems to be more TV at night. Aye. Going to give you I'm going to give you 3 summaries that 3 summaries of the graph, and you have to decide which summary is the best summary of this graph. What do you think? Is it going to be A, B, or C? Let's have each teacher read out. Maria Antonia, can you read A for us, please?
Sure. In summary, the radio audience is bigger in the morning because people listen to the radio in their cars on the way to work. And the TV audience is bigger in the evening because people prefer watching telly? Telly.
Telly.
As a way of relaxing.
Okay. Laura Victoria, can you read B?
Sure. In conclusion, we can say that radio audience figures peak at just under 30% in the mornings, while the television audience hits a height of 45% in the evenings.
Great. And how about Grace? Could you please read number C, letter C?
Yeah, sure. To sum up, around more people watch television than listen to the radio. The radio is more popular in the morning, whereas the television has a significantly larger audience in the evening.
So, any suggestions? You could put your answer in chat. Grace has put C in chat, as has Patricia and Arnold. Why? Why? I agree, it is actually C, but why?
I believe that at this point, when you are writing a conclusion, you cannot mention percentages again.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, because it should be an evaluation, an overview, right?
Yeah.
So it's probably not appropriate to mention percentages again, in the conclusion. That's a good reason. Any other reasons why C is the best?
Probably because the vocabulary it uses is more accurate to the task required.
Yeah. So it can't be A because it has some informal language, telly, right? And there's too much simple language, such as the repetition of big. It also repeats language from the rubric. Right? Audience. And it interprets the data instead of reporting it, which is a no-no, right? It can't be B because it's giving specifics, not trends, right? And we need an overview that summarizes the 3 main points. One, that TV is more popular overall, radio is more popular in the morning, and TV in the evening. And it has a good range of academic language. Okay. Let's just welcome some newcomers. So welcome to Jose.
Good evening, Andrew. Having some electrical issues here due to a storm, so
I can understand, yes.
All right. Sorry for being late.
Okay. Hi. So, we should just have a look at the rubric. So I'll give you the I need to give you the sample task. I'm not showing you the rubric yet. All right, let's. No. Focusing on option C. Which words or phrases in option C could be used in any summary? Well, kind of given away the you can see that on the underlined words, we could use those in any summary. So to sum up, overall, whereas, significantly, those are pretty much could be used universally in any summary. But we could also look at the ones in A. In summary, that's an acceptable lexis to use in a summary. In conclusion, while, yeah. No. Let's focus a bit on this lexis. Yes, overall, says Grace. I'm going to give you worksheet 1. Please click on the link. Can you put the words in the box down below, where it says, however, on the other hand, slightly, in general, in contrast, generally speaking, substantially. Where would they go in these boxes? So we're thinking about substitute words that we could substitute.
Well, in the contrast, we can write, however, on the other hand, in contrast.
Which box would that go in? Is it box
Whereas, but
1,
while.
2, or 3?
2.
Yes, it would. Yes. So, however, on the other hand, would go in box 2, right?
In contrast.
Yeah.
The word substantially, substantially, that's hard to
Yes.
pronounce. That can be in the box 3, I guess.
Yes, that's right.
Instead of significantly.
Yeah.
Slightly too, in that one, in box number 3, slightly.
Yes, you could put Slightly in box 3.
In box number 2, you can write on the other hand.
Yeah, box 2 you could write on the other hand. Yes, indeed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And however,
However, would also go in box 2. Yeah.
Did we already say it in contrast as well in box number 2? No, I'm not sure.
In contrast. I guess box in contrast would go into box number 2, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Now, you might notice that there's commas and full stops used there as well. We wouldn't use a before, however, there's a full stop. In contrast, there's a full stop before that. The word slightly, is that a synonym or an antonym of significantly?
the opposite.
It's the opposite, isn't it? Substantially and significantly, are they more or less
Similar.
synonyms? They're synonyms, aren't they? Yeah. How has the writer avoided repeating the words radio and television audiences? How has the writer avoided repeating the words radio and television audiences? There are other ways that you could say audiences, right? You could say viewers,
Tuners.
listeners if it's radio, yeah? Now, have a look at this next worksheet. Look at these sentences. Are they about the TV or the radio? What about the first one? Between blank and blank, there is a sharp rise from approximately 3 to a peak of just under 4. Do we need to look back on that? Maybe if I show you I'll give you the screenshot. Have a look at the graph again. First sentence, is it radio or TV? . So did you agree that the first one is radio? What about it stays about blank until it then just before blank when it shoots it rapidly to its peak of blank? Is that TV or radio? The second one. Looks like TV, right?
Yes, TV.
Then, sentence 3, it remains roughly at the same level until when it sees a rapid decrease in numbers till it reaches its lowest point.
That would be radio.
No, it's actually TV. Okay, so this is a way of focusing your attention on these lines. The audience figures rise steadily from 2 and then falls briefly at 13 before jumping to. Is that radio, TV? The answer is TV. And the last one is radio. Right, so I'd like you to work together in your groups and try to complete the missing numbers by studying the graph. That makes sense?
Can you share, please, the link of this this document, please?
Yeah, before I do that, let me just complete the task setup. So let's have Grace, Cesar, Camilo, John, and Malo. Okay, and I'll share the slides with you. Please find your slide. Slide 6 is Jose, Laura, Arnold, Maria Antonia. Patricia is Rosa Elena and Bernardo. Abigail, Paula and Isabel and Lena. 8. Group D is Cesar, Grace, Camilo, John and Malu. This word rise, is this a verb or a noun?
A noun.
It's a noun, isn't it? Yes. And this word sharp, is this a verb or an adjective?
An adjective.
It's an adjective.
Adjective, isn't it? Yeah. Now, rises, is that a verb or an adverb?
A figure rises, that's a verb.
It's a verb, yeah. So let's put that a different color. And
The noun would be the
steadily, is that an adverb or an adjective?
A verb.
adverb.
It's an adverb, isn't it? So let's give that a different color. How about blue? There we go. Okay, so I'll let you complete the. Try to complete the numbers. Yeah, by looking at the graph. I'll put you into breakout rooms now so you can share your ideas. And consult for about 5 minutes. Please go to the breakout rooms. Compare your answers.
One at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and the other one around 10:30 at night. And it just goes down. So what do you guys think? This would be the answer.
Good job. You did that in a very dedicated way, conscientious way. Let's just check the answers. Here are the answers. While you're looking at the answers, let me just share worksheet 2 with you. So a good strategy is also to give students vocabulary word building options. Okay, so looking at this worksheet, can you see any noun adjective noun combinations from these sentences we've just looked at? How about rapid? Huh? Yeah, we've got sharp rise. Lowest point, yes, is it's a superlative and a noun, isn't it? But that's an adjective, that's correct. What about same level? I think same is an adverb, isn't it? Guess so.
I'm not really sure, that's why
Yeah.
I was wondering about it.
Yeah. Rapid decrease is an obvious one, right? Rapid decrease. Good job, Grace. How about gradual decline? Huh? Slight increase. Yes, good one. Nice. How about then some other combinations? How about verb adverbs? The one shown is rises steadily. Yeah. Shoots up rapidly, yes. Abigail, good one. falls briefly? Good. Now, how could we, having worked on some of this lexis for describing change, students often really struggle with this, yeah? So giving them the options, expanding their range of lexis is really important for this writing task, yeah? But also they'll need to actually do some practice, right? Now, there are two possible structures for this type of writing. I'll show you them. I'm not sure if we'll have time to actually write, but I'll just show you how you can do it. So, you give the students like a template. Now, we talked about templates in our writing before. And Group A could do worksheet A, which is they've got an introduction, radio, TV, and summary, right? So that indicate each part of the table indicates a paragraph. So we've got 3 paragraphs here, right? So that is group A. So you get the students in group A to write their answer according to the paragraph headings. Right? Making sure they follow the rubric. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Okay. Now, group B, they work together and they write their version with the following paragraphs. Introduction, the morning, radio then TV, the afternoon, radio then TV, and then the evening, radio then TV. Right? Having written their answers, and you give them 10 to 15 minutes to write, right? Then you pair them, you match a student A with a student B, and they read each other's and compare the different ways of doing it. Fortunately, we don't have time to do it. So, but I will share you the links so you can see how it's done.
Thank you.
I use like a rotating basis where I put like 4 different figures and I divide the class. And so what I do is I have them rotate. So they
All
begin
right, that's a
writing.
nice idea.
They begin writing, and after 5 minutes, I tell
Yeah.
them to switch. So the students get up and they go to the next station, and they look to see what the others have had, what they put down, and they got to continue. 5 minutes later, they go to the next one, and so on. So this way, yeah, they get a touch of, they get they get to practice.
Yeah, and they develop the idea that they need to review their writing and that the writing has to have an audience. Someone will read it. It's important, isn't it?
And they can make changes, obviously. And then at the end, we go through like a session as to why they made the changes, and we go through each one of the figures.
Yeah. Good. So yeah, get the students to exchange their answers and give feedback to each other on them. perhaps you could show them the marking criteria, hand these out, and have them assess each other's writing using the criteria. That's from the
We usually
the
do that at the
masterclass.
beginning.
Yeah.
We do that at the beginning. We look at the different levels that we have, and we go through the rubrics, and then we go to work. So that way they have an idea of what needs to be put on paper.
Great.
They have the criteria already down, so they say, okay, we got to use this, we got to use this, and it gives them like the rules.
So, with that activity, we're pretty much done with our live sessions. This was our final live session. You may have some time. Sure, they'll give you some couple of weeks to finish off your online material. But perhaps we could just have a little questionnaire that you could fill in. Just review the course. What do you still need to work on? What did you think was valuable on the course? Be interested to hear your feedback. Here is the scheme of work. Some questions for you. Which training session do you think was, is, or will be most useful to you as a teacher of IELTS prep classes, exam preparation classes, and why? Which training session do you think would be least useful? Do you have any other suggestions regarding the course organization and instructions? I would be interested to hear your responses. Has anything changed? Has anything been Is anything still particularly difficult that you find? Still don't understand. The writing, perhaps? You don't have to answer this right now. Maybe you could just save the link. I can actually post the link in the platform as well.
Andrew, I have a question.
Sure.
I was checking my platform today, and I already covered like all the aspects that like from the platform, all the activities,
Right.
But it says that I have the 84%, sorry. And when I click on the videos, because you upload the videos and the rest of the like the material and the attendance and the chats,
Yeah.
when I click on them, it increased the percentage a little bit, but when I change to the other parts, it goes back.
Huh.
So for example, it is 84. When I click on the for example, the video that you
Yeah.
uploaded the previous section, it turns to 85, 85, sorry. And then when I go to another section to watch the video, it goes back again to 84. But I was checking everything. I have everything complete. The only thing is that I don't know why it is with that percentage if I have everything complete.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if it is because you upload the like the videos and stuff like that, and we need to watch them or we need to check them. But even if I check the things that you upload there,
Yeah.
the score is going to be like the same.
Okay.
So in order for you to keep that in mind, please.
Yeah, yeah. Or it would be useful if you could even just write that a brief note in this questionnaire, and I can pass it
Okay.
on to Tim.
Okay.
Thank you for pointing that out.
I've got, for instance, the 97%, and I tried to figure what was missing, but I didn't find anything missing. So I said, perhaps, well, the platform just provides you the 97%.
Yeah, I
Just
think
out
it's the same
out
as
of the
as
air,
my
right?
problem.
That's weird. Okay, thank you very much. I'll point that out to Tim, who's like the guru in this area. But thank you very much,
Okay,
teachers.
thank
I've got to
you.
depart now because I've got to go and watch some CELTA observations. So thank you very
Andrew,
much.
Okay. Okay,
Andrew,
thank you very much.
thank you so much
Thank
for your
you so
patience,
much.
for your knowledge, and for the training. And
Ah,
yeah,
Andrew,
thank you.
yeah, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Andrew, sorry, I have a question.
Yeah.
When is it possible for us to receive the certificate?
What? I'm not sure, but in the next couple of weeks, usually. Yeah.
Is it possible for us to receive it before?
Well, why don't you drop a message to Tim Matsuda?
Mm,
Okay.
Okay, but I really have to go. Sorry, because I've got a CELTA class.
Okay,
Okay.
bye.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.